Siphokazi, thank you so much for your time this morning. I mean, earlier on we were just speaking about how even the family is struggling to come to terms with this untimely, sad death, given how, it seemed as though it was a fight that was just a normal, ordinary day, and somehow it turned for the worst. As we're looking here in terms of how the family has been coping, what support has the family received in that regard, and do we know whether or not government officials are present, or even officials from the sporting codes are present now as we're about to go through the funeral proceedings?
A very good morning to you, Faith. Yes, we do know that the MEC of Sports and Arts and Recreation is here. We do know that Boxing SA is also here. We're also aware that the provincial boxing chairperson is here. Also, I do have his co-chair. He's been talking and he says, he still can't believe it. He's still in shock that this happened. The young man, Simiso, was fine before the game. The only thing that he had complained about was that he was nervous. And that's something normal when you're going to go take on a fight like that. So I do have him with me right now just to chat a little bit and shed more light as to really what happened before the game and how the family's feeling, because we haven't been able to speak to the family yet, as they are still mourning and just sad about this whole situation. Mr. Mngomezulu, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. So we are going to lay Simiso Buthelezi here today. Can you just shed a little bit more light as to what really happened before the game? How was he before he took on that fight?
He was okay, and when he was preparing for the fight, he was okay, and he was training hard for the fight, and his aim was to come back with the title. Even when we were going to Durban, he said, "No, Babu Mngomezulu will come back with that title," and and I will go do the same. That is what he was saying.
How dedicated was he? I mean, we also know that he's a bright young man. He's only 24, but he had just graduated as well.
Last month he was graduated as EPST, what you call zoology and pathology. So he was graduated and he was happy, and then he was also, and he's very young, 24 years old, and he was preparing to go to fight and then come back with the title, so that we'll celebrate all together here at Dumbe with the title, as well as Nimpumelelo Yemfundo Yake from a University of Zululand.
We also know that we haven't spoken to the family because of what they're going through, but I can imagine that you have been there, you've spoken to them. How are they feeling at this point?
They are very sad. It's hard even to believe that. And whenever there is a message, because everything was happening while they were there, what called in Durban on Tuesday night, that was passed away on Wednesday when they had that information. But even I in Amapoxa, now, University of Zululand, it was also hard even to believe. Yes, they are here. Amapoxa our corner, Nema University of Zululand also here. Ne sponsor RPCT. He also pay for the pass to come down here, even club. So Bonke was shocked about that.
Now, he called himself Ganda Ongena Gia. Just why did he call himself that? What was the meaning behind that saying?
He doesn't go back. When he say he want to do something, he go forward. And he even told himself that when I want to do something, I do it, and then I would go forward. Even in school, he was a top student. And also in boxing, he was also doing the same. And he never lost any fight since he turned professional under my supervision.
When he complained about being nervous, what was that? How did you guys take that?
We didn't take it seriously when he complained about that, because it was on Saturday evening when he said, "Hey, coach, I'm feeling nervous." And that was the first time to saying something like that. All the fight when he was seeing my fight, he never said that. But that day he said, "Hey, I'm feeling nervous." But I thought maybe he's gonna nervous when prepare fight. So we tried to cool him down, but he said, no, it's fine, Ngomazulu, but I'll be there, and I'm not going to let you down. I'll make sure that I'll come back with the title.
Thank you so much for your time. Well, Faith, that was his trainer, Mr. Bheki Mngomezulu, just basically telling us what kind of person he was, that he was always dedicated, always willing to help, always going forward. That's why they called him Uganda Ongena Gia. So, yeah, you can just tell that he was also a bright young man with a bright future ahead of him, as he had just graduated from Uni Zulu, where he graduated in zoology. So it's a very huge loss for the family, huge loss for Boxing SA as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Siphokazi, as you're speaking about that, just looking at the road ahead that was still in store from indeed for Simiso, and now having to have his life cut short is not something that we can take lightly. More than anything else, I'm hoping it gives and raises other conversations when it comes to safety, especially in the boxing fraternity. We'll leave it there. Our reporter Siphokazi Malinga speaking to us from Paulpietersburg.